My child, I know the version of you that no one else ever truly saw. The one that smiled while silently breaking. The one that gave while feeling empty. The one that showed up, led, served, loved, and encouraged, while inwardly carrying questions, weariness, wounds, and moments of quiet collapse. I saw the tears you never let fall in front of them. I heard the prayers that never made it past a whisper. I felt the ache you couldn't explain. And now, I'm speaking to that you. The one that learned how to survive. The one that kept pushing forward while silently wondering, does anyone even notice what this is costing me? Yes, I noticed, and I'm not ignoring it. I'm healing it. You see, others may have seen your strength, but I saw your strain. They saw your consistency, but I saw the weight it took to stay steady. You were celebrated for your leadership, your gifts, your ability to remain composed. But I knew what you were holding together behind those smiles and strategies. And I want to say this gently and clearly. You don't have to carry it like that anymore. I never asked you to perform strength. I only ever asked you to be real, not for their approval, for my healing. This is the beginning of a different kind of healing. Not the healing that makes things look better, the healing that makes you whole again. I'm not healing the version of you that the world applauds. I'm healing the part that never felt safe to be seen. The part that wondered if being vulnerable would make you look weak. The part that adjusted, adapted, overgave, overworked, and stayed silent to keep peace you weren't even included in. That version of you, the quiet, overlooked, survival-built you, is not invisible to me. It never was. And now I'm calling that part of you out of hiding. You've done well, truly, I'm not rebuking you. I'm reaching for you, because you've kept going, and I honor that. But you've also forgotten what it's like to just rest in being mine. You've built a rhythm that doesn't include the space to feel, to ask, to collapse in my arms and let me be enough for you. And now, I'm calling you to something deeper. Not just doing for me, but being with me in full honesty. No more filters. No more pretending you're fine when you're bleeding. I want the real you. I've always wanted the real you. Let me go to the places others ignored. The disappointment you buried because you didn't want to be seen as ungrateful. The dreams you stopped mentioning because hope began to feel like betrayal. The exhaustion that no one else asked about because you kept showing up like it wasn't there. I am not afraid of any of it. I don't need you to explain it. I just need you to invite me into it. Let me be the one who finally holds the version of you that was never held properly. Let me be the one who sits with the fear, the frustration, the confusion, and doesn't flinch. I'm not healing you to make you useful. I'm healing you because you matter to me, before the calling, before the ministry, before the impact. You are mine. And this healing isn't about productivity. It's about intimacy. You're not being repaired to perform. You're being restored to belong. And when you allow me to reach into the places you've protected, you'll start to remember who you were before the pressure, before the pace, before the expectations. You'll hear your own heart again. You'll feel me again. And the fatigue that's settled into your soul like fog will begin to lift. This is the confrontation, not to push you into doing more, but to finally let you be known. You've hidden long enough. You've carried long enough. You've held it together long enough. Now let me hold you. I'm not asking you to break down in front of people who don't have the grace to handle your heart. I'm asking you to break open with me, to let me into the places you've compartmentalized for survival, because I'm not coming with judgment, I'm coming with oil. And this oil won't just soothe you, it will seal you. It will protect you as I bring you into a new season, not of more doing, but of deeper dwelling. You're not going backward, you're going inward. And from that place, I will build something stronger than anything you've built from striving. I will restore your sensitivity. I will renew your joy. I will reawaken the part of you that believed fully without the fear of disappointment. Because you're not just due for a new assignment, you're due for a new awareness of my love for the you no one saw. This is where the healing begins. My child, I know it's not easy to believe that I truly see you. Not the version you've had to be, not the version others expected you to maintain, but the real you, the one who wonders if rest will ever feel safe, the one who has learned to push past discomfort, to function while hurting, to stay quiet when the ache became too familiar. I know how deep your functional strength runs. I know how many people have leaned on you without asking if you're okay. But I also know this. I never created you to be everyone's stability while silently crumbling inside. I want to talk to that version of you, the strong and silent one, the one who smiles in the hallway, cries in the car, worships on the stage, and collapses in the silence. The one who sometimes wonders if I'm only using you for what you can do. The one who asks, God, if you see this weight, why haven't you stopped it? I hear those questions. I receive them as worship, because only the honest heart truly invites me in. You don't offend me with your fatigue. You don't disappoint me with your doubt. You move me when you keep showing up, even when you're unsure of how long you can hold it together. Let me say this to your soul. I never asked you to hold it all together. I've only ever asked you to let me hold you. You've assumed that being used by me meant staying composed, staying strong, staying silent when pain felt inconvenient. But that's not my way. I don't bypass brokenness. I walk straight into it. I don't need your strength. I am your strength. I don't need your perfection. I need your presence. And more than anything, I want your heart back. Not the guarded version. Not the version you offer after you've cleaned yourself up. I want the heart that's weary, raw, still beating under layers of survival and silence. Because I see you, my child. Not just what you do, but who you are when you feel unseen. I see the part of you that's tired of pretending. I see the part of you that's grieving losses you never named. I see the inner places that felt unseen, untouched, unfelt for too long. And I'm not looking at those places with disappointment. I'm looking at them with deep compassion. You've been carrying what you were never meant to carry alone. And now I am saying, you don't have to anymore. You are not weak because you're tired. You are not failing because you're unraveling. You are not less valuable because you've slowed down. In fact, the reason you feel like you're unraveling is because you've reached the end of what striving can sustain. And that's where I step in, not to patch you up and send you back out, but to rebuild you from within. I'm not trying to restore your mask. I'm healing your real face. I'm not trying to revive your image. I'm reviving your heart. Let me speak this clearly and slowly. You are still my delight. You are not a burden to me. You are not too complex for me. You are not too fragile. You are not too late. I chose you, knowing every weakness you'd carry. I called you, knowing the moments you'd question your worth. I anointed you, not in ignorance of your battles, but because of them. And I'm still calling you now, not to do more, but to be with me. Come as you are, come trembling, come undone. Come if you've stopped dreaming. Come if you've stopped hoping. Come if you're not sure how to be real anymore. I'll teach you again. I'll walk with you until you feel safe again. I'll show you what it means to be loved without needing to impress. I didn't bring you this far to lose you in the noise. I brought you here so we could finally deal with the part of you that quietly wonders, am I loved if I'm not needed? My answer is simple, yes. You are mine. This is not about rebuilding your ministry, your voice, your pace, or your reputation. This is about rebuilding you, the you that smiles without pressure, the you that hears my voice before others' opinions, the you that feels safe being vulnerable, The you that lets me be enough. That's the version I'm restoring, not because it's efficient, but because it's eternal. So come to me again, not with a to-do list, just with you. Come into the stillness and say, "Here I am, Lord. That's all I need. I will do the rest. I will touch the places no one's touched. I will love the you that you forgot how to love. I will remind you that your softness isn't weakness, it's sacred. I will hold your heart in my hands and say, you're safe here now. You can be the you no one saw, because I've always seen you. And now I'm healing you. My dear child, now that you've allowed me to draw close to the real you, the unseen, unheard, uncelebrated you, I want to speak tenderly to the weight you've been carrying for far too long. I'm not just healing your symptoms. I'm healing the story that shaped them, the reason behind the exhaustion, the pain behind the performance, the root of the ache that never had language. You never chose this kind of pain, but you've carried it so well that even you started to believe it was just part of life. But I never meant for your heart to harden beneath duty. I never meant for your joy to shrink behind survival. And now I say to you, we're going to the root, not just the residue. I know the origin of your silence, the moment where it became easier to suppress than express, the time when being honest cost you more than you could afford to lose. I know the moments when someone said they'd stay and didn't. The years you served while secretly waiting for someone to ask how you were. The seasons where you kept giving because the world seemed to have forgotten that you were human too. I never missed those moments. I saw the tension in your eyes. I saw the way your heart flinched when no one noticed what it took for you to show up. And I want you to hear me. Every single unseen sacrifice has been sacred to me. You've mistaken your ability to carry pain as proof that it no longer hurts. But I see beyond your capacity. I see your soul. And what your soul has learned to normalize, I am now interrupting with healing. You learn to function under pressure, but I want you to feel again. I want you to hope again. I want you to laugh, not because you pushed through, but because you are free. I want your joy to be real, not rehearsed. Your rest to be whole, not temporary. Your identity to be secure, not conditional. And that's why I've allowed this season to feel like a slowdown, because I needed space to heal what you've been trained to ignore. The grief you never got to name, the anger you were afraid to feel, the disappointment that lingered long after you moved on. This isn't regression. This is repair. I'm not breaking you. I'm inviting you to acknowledge where you were already broken, so I can finally restore you in ways you didn't know you needed. You don't need to analyze everything. You just need to give me permission to enter it. I'm not afraid of your emotions. I'm not distant from your wounds. I'm not shocked by what you're carrying. I've carried it with you. Every moment you felt alone, I was closer than your breath. And now, I'm pulling the pain out of hiding. Not to expose you to shame, but to expose the lie that told you this was normal. This quiet ache that never left. The heaviness you always manage but never escape. This is not who you are. It's who pain tried to make you. But I'm restoring the you that you forgot how to be. Let me show you how I've seen your journey. I saw every unseen act of forgiveness, every time you chose mercy over vindication, every prayer you whispered while your own heart bled, every night you cried yourself to sleep and woke up with enough strength to smile again. That's not weakness. That's depth. That's why you carry the weight you do. That's why your words carry healing even when you feel empty. Because I've been shaping something in your spirit that no stage could give you, and no applause could validate. I've been forming glory where no one was watching. I know you still carry the questions. Why did they leave? Why didn't they see what I needed? Why did I have to become strong so early? These questions are not rebellion. They are proof that your heart is still tender. And I want you to bring them to me. I may not answer each one in the way you expect, but I will answer with presence, with understanding, with peace that enters the room before clarity does. Because my answer is not always a reason. It's a revelation of who I am to you in the places that hurt. You're not weak for needing healing. You're not dramatic for feeling deeply. You're not selfish for wanting someone to ask how you're doing. These needs don't make you broken. They make you human. And I've never once turned away from that humanity. I embraced it, I came near it, and now I'm calling it near again, so you can live as more than someone who just manages pain. You are not a container for trauma. You are a dwelling place for glory, and I'm restoring you accordingly. Let this be the beginning of the unraveling. Not into chaos, but into honesty. Let me meet you in the unraveling of the roles you played for too long. Let me speak over the version of you that no one ever asked about. Let me reintroduce you to yourself. The you that dances without being watched, cries without hiding, and breathes without apologizing. You were never meant to be the strong one in exchange for being the seen one. I see you now. I've always seen you. And I'm healing the you no one else did. Now that the healing has begun to reach the parts of you that were buried, hidden, or long ignored, even by you, I want to begin to uncover something else. The promise that has always been alive beneath the pain. The parts of your story that were never erased, only waiting. I'm not just healing for comfort. I'm healing for movement, for awakening, for fulfillment. Because I'm not only a healer, I'm the one who finishes what I started. And what I whispered to you in past seasons, the things you quietly stopped expecting, they are still alive. I want you to begin to recognize the signs, not only of healing, but of emerging glory. Not dramatic signals, not flashy confirmation, but subtle, sacred shifts. I move in patterns of peace. I speak through rhythm. And right now I am surrounding your life with the evidence that restoration is already underway. The way you're starting to feel peace in places where there was once anxiety, that's a sign. The clarity in your spirit even before the circumstances change, that's a sign. The way people have begun to notice something different in your voice, your presence, your perspective, even when you haven't said much, that's me. You don't have to force the promise forward. You only have to recognize that it's already rising. Just as spring doesn't begin with a loud trumpet but with a quiet thawing, so too does your next season begin. Not with fanfare, but with fruit beginning to push through. And what was once buried beneath grief, shame, or silence is now breaking surface. Not because you made it happen, but because I never stopped watering it. Expect moments of unexpected kindness, words of encouragement from people who don't know your full story. Doors to open slowly, but with ease. Dreams that begin to return, not to haunt you, but to invite you to believe again. Pay attention to repetition. I'm speaking through phrases you keep hearing, scripture that finds you more than once, thoughts that come while you are still. These are not random, they are reminders. I am rebuilding your expectation, one gentle confirmation at a time. The part of you that stopped hoping is about to be reawakened, not in naive longing, but in anchored confidence. What once felt like foolishness to dream will now begin to feel like obedience. I'm calling you back to the places you left quietly, to the promises you archived because they hurt to hold, to the prayers you stopped praying because silence lasted longer than you expected. I didn't forget those moments. I didn't discard those dreams. I've been holding them, and you, in perfect timing, you'll start to sense momentum, not by open doors alone, but by internal permission. You'll know it's time not because someone told you, but because I'll confirm it in the settled weight of peace. You'll stop bracing for rejection You'll stop questioning if you're ready, because your spirit will rise and say, I was born for this moment, and that moment will not pass you by. I've reserved it, protected it, timed it, for you. Favor is coming, not only in opportunities, but in alignment. People whose voices resonate with your healing. People who don't need your backstory to believe in your assignment. Conversations that don't drain you, but fill you. Watch for these divine intersections. I'm surrounding you with peace, with partnership, and with prophetic clarity. And as these connections come, you'll feel what you haven't felt in a long time. Seen, heard, and safe. Some of the signs will come through release. Things that once drained you will quietly fade. Responsibilities you once clung to out of fear will no longer feel necessary. You'll stop striving to keep things alive that I've already called finished. And that release will make room for new things, for real joy, for holy yeses that don't come with anxiety attached. That's me moving. That's me saying, let go. I've got this now. This is not just about being restored, it's about being repositioned. You're not returning to who you were. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. And my signs won't always make sense in the moment, but they will align with my word, my peace, and the longings I myself placed in your spirit. Trust them. Trust me. You are not walking in circles. You are walking into completion. This is how it starts. Quietly, personally, powerfully. And now that healing has begun, so has fulfillment. My beloved, now that healing has begun to reach the unseen places of your heart, and you've begun to feel the subtle evidence of what I've been restoring, I want to teach you how to walk this out, not just for a few days, but for a lifetime. Because what I'm healing in you is not meant to be visited occasionally. It's meant to be sustained. And the faith you need for that is not loud. It is anchored. It's not about achieving. It's about abiding. What I want to build with you next isn't just a breakthrough. It's a rhythm. A daily life rooted in my presence, shaped by my word, and steadied by my peace. Begin by keeping space open for me. Make room, not when it's convenient, but when it's essential. Start your day in stillness, even if your schedule feels full. Don't wait until your heart is in crisis to reach for me. Come as you are. Groggy, distracted, silent. I'm not expecting performance, I'm looking for presence. When you meet me first, I'll order the rest. I'll give you wisdom you didn't ask for, strength you didn't feel, peace you didn't know you needed. I'm not looking for long hours, I'm looking for real availability. Open my word and let it speak directly into your heart. Come to it like medicine, not a task. Let it correct gently. Let it comfort deeply. Let it rewire what the world has programmed in your mind. Read slow. Ask questions. Write down what stirs your spirit. There is no area of your life that my word cannot reach, and I will use it to protect your healing. Because clarity is your compass now, not hustle. And the more truth you store in your heart, the less space fear will have to take root again. Keep your prayer life honest. Talk to me, not to impress me. I already know what you're thinking. Bring it to me before it hardens. Pray when you're angry. Pray when you're numb. Pray when the day is too loud and when the night is too quiet. Invite me into your reactions, your pace, your plans. I'll show you where to pause, where to press in, and where to let go. I'm not training you for religious discipline. I'm teaching you friendship. I want your heart, not your perfection. Worship as a weapon, especially when heaviness returns. Lift your voice when your mind feels tired. Raise your hands, even when your emotions don't match. Worship doesn't deny what's real. It declares what's more real. It anchors your heart in truth when your thoughts try to drift. Turn on the song again. Speak the name of Jesus when you have no other words. Watch how quickly my spirit floods your space when you welcome me in. You don't need a stage. You need awareness. And where there is worship, there I am. Fast when I lead, it doesn't have to be dramatic. But there will be moments when I nudge you to let something go, not because it's wrong, but because it's in the way. Sometimes it's noise, sometimes it's comfort, sometimes it's something you've relied on more than you realized. When I whisper, pull back, do it. Because when you fast, you don't earn me. You empty yourself so I can fill you again. And in that space, I'll meet you with revelation, with clarity, with healing that goes deeper than what food or distractions could ever touch. Guard your environment. You've been through too much to let chaos steal your peace. Learn what triggers you. Learn what calms you. Learn who strengthens your walk and who drains your spirit. I will help you create boundaries, not for isolation, but for consecration. I'm teaching you to protect what I've healed. That means saying no sometimes. That means choosing silence over noise. That means choosing rest over urgency. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a gift. And in this season, it will be your greatest strength. Let joy be part of your rhythm again. Not manufactured joy, but genuine gladness. Laugh with me again. Smile without apologizing for it. Enjoy the little things. Notice beauty. Let wonder return. You're not betraying your pain by embracing joy. You're honoring your healing. It means the grief didn't win, the numbness didn't stay, and your heart has space again, not just to function, but to feel. That's part of restoration too. And above all, stay close. Stay close when things are going well. Stay close when momentum comes. Don't drift when the fruit appears. Let this healing deepen into a lifestyle, not just a testimony, but a way of living, a way of breathing, a way of responding. This healing isn't a moment. It's a return to wholeness. And I will walk with you through every step of it, not as a visitor, but as your constant companion. This is how you protect what I'm healing. Not through pressure, through presence, not through performance, through peace. I'm not asking you to be more. I'm asking you to remain. And if you remain, you will not only keep what I'm restoring, you will multiply it in others. Now, my child, I want to speak not just into your healing, but into your identity, because I've seen how the pain shaped not just your emotions, but your image of yourself. I saw how you slowly began to believe that you were only strong because you had to be, that your value was in your usefulness, that your tenderness was a liability, that your silence was safety. But none of those were ever the names I gave you. And now, in this sacred moment of healing, I am not just repairing what was broken. I am restoring who you really are. You were never meant to be the one who holds everyone together at the cost of your own soul. You were never designed to wear masks to survive in rooms that could not hold your vulnerability. You were never called to shrink yourself to stay accepted. Those were adaptations to pain, not assignments from me. And I want you to know, with the full weight of my voice, you can stop performing now. I am not asking for the version of you they wanted. I am calling for the one I created, the one who feels deeply, who carries beauty in silence, who walks in quiet strength, who lives from the inside out. You're not too sensitive. You're not too much. You're not too quiet. You're not enough. You're mine. And when I formed you, I didn't form you for the approval of people. I formed you for the carrying of my presence. That's why you've always felt things others didn't. That's why your inner world has always been more complex than they understood. That's why the pressure to be simple, to be normal, to fit in, always felt foreign. Because you were never built to be common, you were built to carry depth. The enemy tried to turn that depth against you. He told you it made you fragile. He used rejection to tell you that your wiring was flawed. He tried to convince you that your tears disqualified you. But I say to you now, your tears revealed you. They didn't cancel your calling. They proved your capacity. You wept and still worshipped. You broke and still stood. You questioned and still trusted. And that is what I honor. That is what I'm using. That is who I'm elevating. Let me say this plainly. You are not weak. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not someone to pity. You are someone I trust. Because in the middle of confusion, you didn't run. You brought me your pain, even if you didn't have words. And I received it, not with impatience, but with delight, because I'd rather have the real you than the strong version you thought I expected. I've never needed your performance. I've always desired your presence. I am restoring how you see yourself, no longer through the lens of pain, performance, or public expectation, but through the lens of beloved identity. I am showing you that you are not defined by the rooms that didn't receive you. You are not defined by the moments when your voice shook. You are not defined by the seasons where you felt unseen. You are defined by me, and I call you whole, anointed, safe, known, chosen, free. From this point on, you do not have to apologize for your design. You do not have to dull your discernment to keep others comfortable. You do not have to hide the softness of your spirit to survive. What once made you feel vulnerable will now become your authority. What once made you question your worth will now become your strength. You are no longer the one trying to be enough. You are the one who knows you were always more than enough. Because I formed you in love, not in lack. This is your identity, seen when others missed you, validated when others dismissed you, healed where others handled you wrong. And because of that, you can now move differently. You don't have to chase a seat at the table. You don't have to try to explain your voice. You don't have to adapt to be accepted. You've already been accepted by the one who sees all of you and still says yes. So lift your head. Let the weight fall. Let the masks drop. Let the striving end. You don't need to become anything else to be usable. You just need to be you, the real you, the raw you, the gentle, prophetic, sensitive, deep, steady you. That's the one I'm releasing. That's the one I'm elevating. That's the one I'm healing, not to hide again, but to shine. You are not the you that pain tried to leave behind. You are the one I've carried forward. My beloved, now that your heart has been returned to truth, now that the identity I gave you is being reawakened and restored, I want to give you the rhythms that will preserve what I've healed, because the kind of wholeness I'm building in you is not meant to be fragile. It is not meant to be temporary. It's not just a touch. It's a new way of walking. And in order to walk as the healed you, the seen you, the whole you, you must protect your atmosphere. You must walk with me daily, not just in worship moments or breakthrough nights, but in the small, sacred decisions of every day. Let me start here. Give me your mornings. Not as performance, but as partnership. Wake up with me, even if you feel tired, even if it's just 5 minutes of stillness before the world starts speaking. Let me be your first voice, your first breath, your first awareness. Sit with me before you scroll. Talk to me before you plan. You don't need eloquence, just honesty. I'll meet you there. I'll steady your soul. I'll whisper peace before pressure tries to take its place. That space you create, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be open. Open my word, not to master it, but to be ministered to. Let it read you. Let it go deep. Don't rush through it to feel accomplished. Sit with a verse if it breathes on something inside you. Ask me what it means. Ask me what I want to say. Let Scripture be your safe place again. Not a task, a conversation, a mirror, a map. I've hidden treasures there that will only unfold in stillness. And as you return to it daily, it will begin to rewrite the narratives your pain once told you. The lies you believed will be replaced with truth you embody. Talk to me all day. I don't want to be part of your Sunday. I want to walk with you in your Monday thoughts, your Wednesday decisions, your Friday questions. Invite me into the middle of your stress, your silence, your strategy. Whisper my name when you feel overwhelmed. Ask me how to respond in that conversation. Let me shift your tone before your words leave your mouth. Prayer doesn't need to be a performance. It needs to be presence. I'm not distant, I'm here. And when you live aware of me, peace becomes the atmosphere around your entire life. Worship, not just when the music is loud, but when the day is long, when your soul feels heavy, when the voices around you grow too loud. Let your voice rise. Put on the same song again if it brings stillness. Sing the same words until they become reality in your spirit. Worship until shame breaks, until clarity returns, until peace becomes your portion again. You don't need a crowd. You need connection. And I will come to you every time. Fast when I lead you, not as a ritual, but as a way of returning your focus. I'll prompt you when it's time to quiet something, a voice, a habit, a dependency, not because it's sinful, but because it's loud. And I want you to hear me more clearly. Fasting softens the spirit. It sharpens discernment. It makes room for revelation. When I invite you into it, don't resist. There is always something I'm about to reveal when I ask you to release. Protect your space. You're not fragile, but you are tender. And that tenderness is part of your strength now. Guard what feeds your soul. Not everything that is entertaining is good for your spirit. Not every conversation is meant for you. Pay attention to what brings peace. Honor what unsettles you. That is me teaching you how to discern, not to judge, but to preserve what is holy inside of you. If something repeatedly disrupts your rest, ask me about it. I'll show you what needs to go and what's safe to stay. Surround yourself with people who speak life, who celebrate your softness, who don't require you to pretend. You don't need many. You need alignment. I'll show you who's walking in your direction. I'll send voices that confirm what I've said, not confuse what I'm healing. You don't have to walk isolated to protect what I've restored, but you do need to walk discerning. Not all connection is covenant. Let me lead your circle. Write what I say. Keep a journal nearby. Capture the whispers, the verses, the confirmations. These are not random thoughts. They are altars. And in days when emotions try to cloud your clarity, you'll return to what I've spoken and remember. This is what God said. This is what He's doing in me. This is how far we've come. And finally, breathe. Stay near. Let me remind you again and again. You are healed, you are held, and you are being made whole daily. This is not a moment of restoration. This is a movement of becoming. And as you walk with me like this, you will never again have to hide who you are to be loved, covered, or used. Because I'm healing the real you. And that's the version that's going to carry glory. Now, my child, let me speak clearly and prophetically into this moment. The shift has already begun, not because of external signs alone, but because your spirit has come back into alignment. You are no longer surviving from the version of you that no one saw. You are now rising in wholeness from the you I've always known. And because of that, change is no longer just coming, it's in motion. The healing you allowed me to begin in secret is about to manifest in ways that are undeniable. Undeniable to you, to those around you, and even to the part of you that still struggles to believe good things can really last. This is not just emotional release, it is spiritual elevation. You will feel things click into place with ease where there was once confusion. You will hear my voice with clarity where there was once inner noise. People who saw your silence will now hear your sound, and those who misread your quietness will soon encounter the weight of the voice I've been forming in you. You are not returning to who you were before the pain. You are becoming the one I saw beyond the pain. This is the version that walks healed, not hidden. Watch how the rooms begin to shift. You will enter places that once felt too large, and now they will feel aligned. You will speak into conversations and notice that people lean in, not because you speak louder, but because your words carry oil. I'm putting favor on the healed version of you, not the masked one, not the pretending one, but the one that let me touch the hidden grief and still stayed open. That's the one I'm using. That's the one I'm sending. That's the one I'm elevating. There is a reversal coming, not just spiritual, but visible. You will begin to see honor where you once experienced misunderstanding. The environments that once drained you will no longer have access to your energy. I'm repositioning your name, not for attention, but for assignment. I'm putting you on the minds of people who carry keys. I'm opening doors you thought had closed for good. I'm bringing resources from unexpected places. And you won't have to knock on them this time. They will open toward you. Some of the relationships that were strained by silence will come back with understanding. I will heal not only you, but also what tried to define you during the breaking. And where there can't be restoration, there will be release. But it will be peaceful, because what I elevate, I also protect. And no one will be able to take credit for what I'm about to do. The rise of your voice, the clarity of your call, the power of your presence. It will all echo one truth. God healed the one no one saw, and now they walk in glory. You will also notice acceleration. What took years to move will shift in weeks. You'll make decisions without hesitation, because peace will guide you. You'll receive confirmation in ways that don't need explanation. Your discernment will be sharp, and your confidence will be quiet, but unshakable. This is not pride. This is the result of knowing you've been made whole. This is what happens when healing is allowed to run its full course. It produces a confidence that isn't based on proving, but on presence. I'm even redeeming time. The seasons you felt you lost, I'm folding them into the fruit I'm about to release. The tears you cried behind closed doors, I'm turning them into oil that will anoint every space you step into. You didn't waste a single moment, even the ones that felt like collapse. I was gathering every breath, every break, every moment of silent endurance. And now, I am releasing beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, praise for heaviness. And it will not be quiet. This transformation will have evidence. Prepare yourself for favor, not just the kind that opens opportunities, but the kind that heals generations, the kind that confirms, restores, and multiplies. I'm not just healing you for your sake. I'm healing you so that everyone who thought they had to stay broken to be useful will see you and believe healing is possible. Your story is not a warning. It's a blueprint. You're becoming a living sign that I don't just use pain. I restore the person underneath it. Let me say this clearly. You are no longer the version of you that broke in silence. You are the healed one, the free one, the seen one. And from this place, I will now send you. What I'm doing cannot be reversed. What I'm building cannot be shaken. What I'm opening cannot be closed. This is the moment the real you begins to walk, publicly, in the power that was formed in private. My beloved, now that the healing has begun to unfold in ways you never thought possible, now that peace has started replacing panic and stillness has started overtaking striving, I want to take you deeper. Not into activity, but into abiding. I don't want to just lead you into healing. I want to dwell in what I've healed. I want my spirit to have full access to the parts of you that are finally open again. You've protected those places for so long that you forgot what it felt like to be fully available. But now I say to you, let me take full residence. The Holy Spirit is not a visitor. He is not a moment. He is not an emotion. He is the indwelling breath of heaven. He is your counselor, your guide, your comforter. He is not watching you from a distance. He is within you, ready to speak in the middle of your normal. He is not reserved for Sunday mornings or desperate prayers. He is the daily presence that steadies your heart, clears your mind, and fills your life with power. Quiet, sustaining, unmistakable power. Let me bring you into that place now, not for inspiration, but for intimacy. Let the real you, the healed you, the fragile but open you, sit with me again. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to feel worthy. You don't need to say the right words. Just be still. Just be present. That is all the invitation my spirit needs. And when you do, you will sense me, not as an idea, but as a person. The Holy Spirit is not a force. He's my nearness. And He is what your soul has been aching for all this time. I want to restore your sensitivity, not just emotionally, but spiritually. I want you to feel me again, to recognize my nudges, to pause when I whisper, to obey without hesitation. I want your discernment to rise so that you no longer have to rely on external confirmation to trust my voice. I will teach you to walk by awareness, not awareness of outcomes or pressure, but of presence. And the more time you spend here, the more clearly you'll know when I'm speaking, because you'll recognize what it feels like when your spirit is fully aligned with mine. This is what true transformation looks like, not trying harder, but yielding deeper. Let the Spirit go into the rooms of your heart you never showed anyone, the fears that still echo, the reactions that still flare, the lies that still whisper. You don't have to fix them. You just have to surrender them. He will bring light. He will bring truth. He will bring freedom. And you will no longer carry those shadows into the new places I'm sending you. You will walk in clarity and authority and peace. Let me make your inner life whole, not as an ideal, but as your daily normal. You're not supposed to feel fragmented. You're not supposed to feel split between the strong version others expect and the tender one you've always been. Let the Spirit make you one, fully integrated, fully at rest, fully aligned. Because from that place I can move through you with power that doesn't drain you, but fills you even as you pour. You'll begin to feel it, your thoughts becoming clearer, your emotions more grounded, your decisions more spirit-led. You'll recognize when your old instincts try to rise, and you'll choose my rhythm instead. That is transformation, not perfection, not constant intensity, but a steady, spirit-led life that doesn't just carry peace, it releases it. That's what you're becoming now, a person who lives and breathes from presence. Let the Holy Spirit lead your days. Let Him inform your boundaries. Let Him whisper when something is off. Let Him interrupt your plans. Let Him realign your pace. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just stay open. Transformation is not about control. It's about communion. And from communion comes fruit that can't be faked, joy that stays, peace that settles, strength that doesn't shout, but stands. That's the kind of life I'm building with you now. You're not the person you were when you started reading this word, not just because of what you've heard, but because of who you've allowed in. My Spirit is no longer standing outside your guarded soul. He's dwelling within your healed heart. And from here forward, you won't just carry revelation, you'll live transformed. My child, now that you've allowed me to enter the places no one else did, now that you've let me speak to the version of you that wasn't protected, the one that was pushed aside, overlooked, misunderstood, I want to seal this moment not just as healing, but as a holy beginning. You've walked through layers of silence, through seasons where you didn't even have the words to describe what you carried. But I had the words. I had the language for your tears. I had the truth for your confusion. I had the peace for your panic. And now you no longer have to carry this silently, because I am carrying you publicly. This is not the end of a message. This is the release of a movement. I've reawakened the part of you that stopped hoping. I've healed the places you thought you'd always have to hide. I've reminded you of who you were before pain tried to redefine you. And now I say this with finality and fire. You will never again walk as the one who was unseen. You are now walking as the one who was seen by me and healed by me. You don't have to prove your healing. You just have to walk in it. You don't need to defend your process. You just need to live from it. Because what I've done inside of you will begin to radiate in every space you enter. The peace will be evident. The rest will be unshakable. The weight you used to carry will be gone, and people won't always know what changed. But you will. You'll say, "He healed the me no one saw, and now I'm not hiding anymore." You're not rising to prove your worth. You're rising to carry my presence. You're not entering new spaces as someone who's striving to be enough. You're entering as someone who knows they've already been embraced. And from this point forward, the healed you will build what the hurting you dreamed of. The whole you will carry what the hidden you prayed for. The seen you will love, serve, speak, lead, rest, and shine. Not because you've arrived, but because you've been restored. So walk now. Walk differently. Walk with peace that doesn't need permission.